I mean, in all honesty, I could say it goes all the way back to 1992 when we started Image Comics at the very beginning. You know, the seven of us, when we started it, when we went to that fateful first meeting, we brought this topic up. You know, wouldn't it be cool if we all came up with our own books that we all own, but wouldn't it be cool if we threw them all in the same playground? We've made some half-hearted attempts at it. Some of my partners that had studios and multiple books were doing a little bit of it, but no major sort of focused attempt at it. And then we talked about it over time, right? I mean, again, we started the company 28 years ago, and we've sort of hinted at it. But I just a couple years ago decided I was just getting too old, to wait around. So I just went, well, I guess I'll just start it on my own. Hopefully, be an encouragement to get others to join. And that's the big plan. That I can't do what I want to do long term without having dozens, if not hundreds, of other fellow creative people jump on board, right? So this isn't to me a Todd goal. It's not even a Spawn goal, because over time both Todd and my characters should be irrelevant and get more irrelevant as time goes by, because there's going to be more creative people and more characters. There should be thousands of characters added to this equation. And if someday people say, man, that Spawn's my 25th favorite character in that universe, then to me that'd be a giant victory, because I think Spawn's pretty good right now, and to imagine 25 ahead of him, woo, that's a pretty good place. So it's a moment today that in my head is giant, right? I wish people could be in my head to know how big I potentially think this could get, but it's going to take years, if not decades, to know whether I'm accomplishing any of that with any of the people with me. But today is the day that I officially plant my flag and say, I'm doing it, right? I'd like to have some help. Would like everybody to come join the party, but I'm starting a party. It's official. And I'm going to devote, 10, 20 years of my life now from today to this goal.
So briefly describe what this new universe is going to look like to like a Spawn fan who's first hearing about it.
Oh, wow. In the future, the answer is I don't know. And because I hope that we invent 300 characters that aren't even in existence right now. To a Spawn fan, a comic book fan who exists today, there's a couple big things. One, I've been doing Spawn as a monthly comic book. So if you like Spawn and you like what I do, you can come in once a month, right? Oh, by the way, in the pandemic, like I said, Spawn was growing. It was now a top 5 monthly comic book. But you can come in once a month and then you leave once a month. And so I'm gonna sort of start launching it with the book called Spawn's Universe, and then I'm going to come out with 3 monthly books, so that then in a month, every week you walk in, you can get something that's part of this playground. So you don't have to wait a month. Every week you go in to get your new comics, you can say, hey, where's the new stuff from that universe that's coming out? And oh, by the way, if you're 28 years old, you have never, ever had an opportunity to buy an issue number 1 of the ongoing monthly Spawn comic book. And so I'm going to remedy that, because there's going to be a new second Spawn monthly. And that is sort of historic in itself, because it means that Spawn now is a character worthy of having more than 1 monthly book. You can count those characters almost on one hand, right? Yeah. Those are Supermans, your Batmans, and your Spider-Mans. And now Spawn gets to join the rank of those heavy hitters. So, I always put him in the category of some of those characters, maybe sort of A- to those A's. But now, and will that introduction allow me to reach a different generation than those that were around in 1992, right? I mean, if you're 30, you've just been hearing your dad and your mom and your uncle talk about, Image comic books, and one of the guys created this character called Spawn. Like you weren't there, right? I mean, it's ancient history in the comic book. It's folklore. But now, hey, here's your chance. You missed it 30 years ago. Here's your chance. Oh, by the way, all of this should be way, way, way bigger and grander, which it is in my brain, beyond comic books, right? I'm not thinking about comic books. That will be the epicenter of all of this. But like, can we create something that has sort of a global standing in many mediums, all over the place? That's the goal. That's the big thing in my head when I close my eyes that I'm conjuring. So.
Now, in the release, they list some of the artists who are joining you on this project, and there's some of the biggest names in the comic book industry. What does it mean to have that kind of support in this initiative?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to see a lot, and then everybody's going to only be able to give what their schedules are going to allow, right? So all of them aren't going to be coming on and doing 5 years of work. The conversation, I've been burning up the phones the last 6 months. The conversations are pretty simple. Hey, this is Todd. I'm going to do some cool stuff. Want to know if you're interested. I'll take anywhere between one and an infinity amount of pages from you. Can you help? And they usually go, yeah, here's my number. And some say they can hang around a lot longer and give me more, and others go, Todd, I can give you a cover, but I've got my other commitments. So, but my mom sort of taught me, just beggars and choosers, right? You just you say thank you to anything and anything you put, and I'm hoping then that the whole is way better than the parts. And oh, by the way, the goal is to create an area where people will want to bring their creations, because I'm going to make it creatively worth their while, and I'm going to make it financially worth their while, right? To just say, hey, well, I've got a deal that's way better. You come here, you're going to have way more ownership in this universe than you are at any other existing universe right now. So.
Are there any particular characters right now that you're looking forward to developing and building out of your current stable of characters for this new universe?
Yeah, it's the new undefined yet seen characters, right? So I'm just silly enough to think that the best characters haven't been put on paper yet. And our goal is going to be to see if we can come up with those this year, next year, and then 2 years after that, make those not be quite as cool, because the ones that come out 2 years later are going to be the best ones, right? Like, I don't know, you should never rest on your laurels, right? There's always the elusive better tomorrow, and it's what gets you up and drives you as a creator. So.
Well, those were pretty much all the questions I had. Do you have anything else you'd like to add about this new universe?
Only the the official result of it is just me sort of being silly and ambitious, or delusional, use whatever word you want, of asking sort of the simple question that in the 30s DC started theirs, and in the 60s Marvel started theirs. Is it possible for another one to begin in the 2020s? I don't know what that answer is, Gabe, but you can't, I'm not going to know unless I do it. So I'm going to devote an extensive many years of my life trying to see what the answer is to this question that I'm officially posing today, right? So why can't lightning strike 3 times? And we know the one thing about people, that whatever is popular today may not be popular tomorrow. So I know what the giants are. I know what the hurdles are. I know what the potential complications and the drama is to not getting there. but I'm unhindered by it, and I'm fearless of going and entering into the arena with the giants, of just saying, who knows, right? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, nobody knew that one of my partners at Image was going to do this little black and white comic book about zombies called The Walking Dead that was going to be so big, right? You don't know till you try. So I'm here trying, right? I know the answer is no if you never try, but it's still a question mark. The other direction, I don't know. I'll give it the college try. You and I talk in 10 years, and either I will have failed miserably or I will have probably underestimated, but it won't, or someplace in between. Those are the only options. I don't know. Let's go, right? Let's go. I'm young, got lots of year, got lots of energy in me. Let's go. By the way, all you creative people, it's a good time to create, right? I recommend you do it, and maybe some of you out there may help me on this journey.